For many players, Disco Elysium functions as an extended, brilliant piece of interactive fiction rather than a mechanically rich RPG. The quote-unquote game is overwhelmingly dialogue, skill checks, and eternal monologues. There's no combat, very limited tactile systems, and many players report if you dislike long passages of text, the experience is punishing or simply just not fun. Community threads and reviewers repeatedly observe that the title sits much too close to a visual novel. What many people expect is an RPG. You do not get that. Disco markets itself on role-playing and choice, but multiple players have pointed out that the structure funnels you towards narrative beats regardless of some dialogue changes. In other words, the feeling of agency is rich, but the branching depth is completely shallow. Another issue I have with Disco Elysium is the pacing. The dense prose, slow pace, and sheer volume of text makes the game inaccessible to some players. That being said, the game does earn a lot of praise for storycraft, world building, and voice. My critique isn't that it's a bad game, it's that it's an overrated game and a little bit misleading depending on what you're going for. One of the things that I don't like about Outer Wilds is that you have to explore by yourself and learn everything by yourself. The loop is the game's signature mechanic, but for some players it becomes more fatigue rather than wonder. Several reviews and many user reports argue that repeating portions of the map to access new knowledge can feel tedious. That repetition can make exploration more trial and error than an aha moment for certain players. Outer Wilds is an exploration puzzle experience with almost no conventional game systems, little in the way of traditional game progression, combat, or branching consequences. The payoff of a long mystery matters. A subset of players and reviewers felt the ending didn't land emotionally or narratively as strong as the journey suggested it would, leaving a gap between build-up and closure for those players. That subjective mismatch is a common element in overrated arguments. Lots of people love the journey, but few felt satisfied during the end of the destination. Outer Wilds' design is elegant and courageous focused. The critique is that elegance is narrow, and that narrow focus is a sizable portion of the game for players. Undertale changed the indie scene. Its character moments, meta-narrative tricks, and the soundtrack created by a devoted fanbase scored a lot of praise with the community. Undertale's core loop is a hybrid of turn-based RPG and bullet hell dodging with an Act of Mercy system layered on top of that. Many reviewers praise its novelty, but several critiques point out the game's mechanics that can become repetitive or shallow across a full playthrough, especially when you have expert mechanical depth equal to its narrative ambition. Undertale's promise of different routes is central to its identity. Replaying doesn't offer large systematic differences in the play. The major tonal shifts matter, but mechanically the game largely recycles content across runs. That can make quote-unquote multiple endings feel less like branching ecosystems and more like same path with different label. Undertale has a huge cultural impact and many unforgettable moments as well. My critique is not to deny its achievements, is not to say that overwhelmingly celebration narratives can sometimes skip reasonable mechanical and thematic critiques that existed from the start. All three of these games are worth playing and thinking about, but you'll get more from them if you go in with matched expectations.